Put a valley in and show how our shingles are tied into it. We have our starter strip already on the bottom edge, our metal starter strip, and our tar paper is on. And we have a starter shingle over on this side, so it's just be roofed up to your valley area, and now it's time to put it in. Okay, this is your valley metal. It comes in 10-foot lengths normally, and it has a fold in it that we're going to be hooking the shingles into. So just keep in mind that fold is about 1 inch. So the valley drops in to the center of the intersection of the two grooves. You start up to the point where an eave starter meets the fold, and we just want that to meet at that point there, or up just a touch if anything. Now when we're nailing the valleys, we like to stay reasonably close into the fold, but make sure you do not put your nail through the fold or this way. So always stay back 1.5 to 2 inches from the fold that we see there. So there I am, I've gone the right distance, and I'm going to nail 2 inches back there, and I can continue doing that roughly every 2 feet up the valley. Now when we put our last shingle on, the point of it, you've already done the layouts in 23.5 inches. So we're going to do this again, 23.5 from the center point of your last shingle, starter shingle. And that's going to be the top point of this next one. Now as you see, it's awkward to get on there to figure out your distance. So I'm just looking down here and I'm going to bend that shingle someplace in the valley area there, so that now I can put my mark on here and line my bottom edge up to its proper spot. Okay, now I'm going to mark where the fold is in the valley, and also underneath at that same point. Draw a line through the point, and that becomes the line at which I want to bend. So there again, I put a B on it. Now, this fold should be approximately 5/8, half to 5 1/8 of an inch wide. So I'm going to make another mark, and that's my cut line. So I'm going to cut my shingle off at that line. Now as we fold around, the corners have to be cut back so that they don't overlap and interfere with the fold. So I'm going to do that now. Cut it back in that angle, and I also cut this tab back here. And again, there's a fold underneath that I've got to get out of the way. So there's my piece ready to be bent. Slide it into the bar folder. Now as the metal is bent, it draws around the curve of the bar folder. So always keep your line out, probably 1/16 inch space between your line and the edge of the bar folder to allow for that. And the way I fold, I put my one hand hooked on the side here, and and bend around and squeeze it. So now I have a fold at the bottom and a fold at the side here that will go in the valley. And there's my starter shingle hooked on to the bottom starter strip and also hooked on to the fold of the valley. And the top point is where it should be. So now I'll put another full shingle on. So now my next shingle, which goes in here. Remember, when you're working with these, you always put the shingle on the major roof part first. And the reason for that is that now I can take my 23.5-inch measurement again. And that's the point that I'm heading for with my next shingle. So in a valley, you always have the two knowns. You always know that this point you want to have right here, as with every shingle. And you also know that this point has to be in the 23.5-inch mark. So I can hold that up there just roughly. And there again, you can't really mark it accurately until it lays down, but I can guess that I can bend it here and here. There, I'm set on my 2 points, and now I can mark my fold line again. And I always mark my extra 5/8 at that time too. So I get 2 marks there, same as usual, bend and cut. And again, I have to remove the material so that they don't interfere with the fold. You start by just 45ing the corners off. And then always remember to take more back off the fold. And there's my piece for the valley with my bend line left here. And again, I'm going to stay back from the edge of the bar fold a little bit to allow for it bending around. And as I say, I bend with my arm. For somebody beginning, you can also set it on the roof and bend this way. It's just maybe a little easier for starting out. So that's how the valley's done. It's a very tight valley. Any water coming down this side, it has to either go over the shingle or in underneath. And if it goes in underneath, it's into the fold. The two things that people will do wrong when working at this first is that they will not cut enough out of the corners to make sure that it folds around without overlapping. And the other thing is holding the bar folder too close to the line will always make the shingle slightly smaller. So that covers the installation of the valley shingles.